I'm not defensive about it.
Yes, what's happening, people? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another live stream and your daily Chelsea news update. As always, people, there is plenty to dive into. Negotiations continue for Victor Osimhen. Discussions apparently have been held over a possible swap deal involving Romelu Lukaku. Reports from Italy suggesting that Chelsea have shown a willingness to lower their price for Lukaku, which I hope that's not the case. And if it is the case, hopefully it's because he's going to be involved in some sort of a swap deal, because under no circumstances should we really be lowering our price for him. Noni Madueke, the Athletic, reporting that Chelsea would consider offers for him, but they value him at around £60 million. They believe they can double their money on him potentially. They believe he's worth 60 mil. Let's hope that we don't sell him. We've also got the latest on the future of Amanda Broja. There are reports today linking him with the move to Ipswich, but he would be reluctant to accept to move there at this stage. Apparently, he's got interests from elsewhere as well, and Chelsea want to sell him rather than loan him, which I absolutely understand. Chelsea are very open to selling Raheem Sterling as well, but again, we sort of knew this already, but it was going to be one of them where it should be good news, but the reality is doesn't really make any difference because no one is paying that price for him, and no one is going to pay those wages for him either. And in terms of Joao Felix as well, because I'm sure loads of you want to know more about that, basically, there is no more to know. There is no more to know. The Felix, we're still in negotiations. And to be fair, on that sort of thing, no news can sometimes be good news, you know. The fact is we're locked in negotiations still, and no news could mean good news. I mean, maybe not good news for me, but yeah, good could just mean good news in general in terms of trying to sort out a deal. Renato Vega as well is preferred to Ben Chilwell, so that would seem to be another slap in the face for Chile and indicate that he probably needs to be looking at alternative options for the upcoming season. And other than that, guys, just probably more news to go through as and when we get it. But on the major stuff, it's a little bit quiet. But that could be good. Anyway, let's dive into proceedings. Big up to everyone that's locked in. Already 136 people in the building. Love to everyone that's here already, guys. Smash that like button. Let's get this over 100 likes as quickly as possible. And keep subscribing to the channel if you're new around here as well, people. That would be greatly appreciated. Let's say hello to a few people. Yes, Rayan, big up, my brother. I hope you're doing well. Feel like something's happening behind the scenes for Osimhen? Well, I hope so, because they've fucking been talking for long enough. So something hopefully is happening. Hope Gallagher deal doesn't collapse. I hope so as well. Just because I just want the saga dealt with. Thursday afternoon, still no breakthrough. Looks like the deal is not happening. No, I wouldn't say that. As I was saying, no news can sometimes be good news, you know. Broja said no. Is he mad? No, I could understand not wanting to go to a promoted side, because chances are Ipswich could go down. So yeah, I don't blame him for that. What else have we got going on? Yes, big up to Wes. Yes, big up, brother. Guys, I mean, if anyone's interested, because there's a bit of a saga yesterday, the charger, we're good. New charger is in the building. New charger is plugged in now, and the new charger is working. So yeah, we can. It's carefree, people. It's carefree. I don't have to worry about the laptop dying. So yeah, we're all good. New charger is in place and is currently charging. I really hope one of these players becomes a leader. Palmer, I hope he looks like a leader. Yeah, potentially. Has Osimhen got leadership qualities? Look, maybe some, sure. I mean, I don't know for certain. I don't really know his character. Obviously, I don't know his character, so I don't know him. But yeah, I don't see. I think he could definitely grow into that role. Yes. Big up to everyone. Osimhen has already said he doesn't want a loan and has picked PSG as his desired location. There were reports yesterday saying that some reports were suggesting that PSG had dropped out of the race for Osimhen. So I don't know what to believe. But then there's some reports as well. We're saying Florian Plettenberg on Sky Germany saying that PSG is still Osimhen's preferred destination. And I think I'll get into it in more detail, but I think one disadvantage we have compared to PSG is PSG will pay those wages, no problem. They will pay them. They don't have an issue paying them. That Qatari money hits good. They ain't got a problem paying that to PSG. Guys, I can't read all these. I'll try and get through as many as possible. Gonna cover that now as well. Oh, I'm not going back to the sneeze. Excuse me. Right, I'm allergic to this transfer activity. Chelsea doesn't not have a sponsorship. No, I don't really care about that much. Play Napoli right up to the deadline. Sick of all these European clubs trying to rinse us. I don't know if they're trying to rinse us necessarily. There's a deal there to be done, but I would agree. The longer it takes to get to said deal, then the chances are that a compromise is going to be reached, because both parties don't want said striker on their books come the end of the window. But anyway, let's get into it, guys. Apology if it looks like I've got like a little halo behind me, that bit of light. Having solved the charger issue yesterday, I can't close the curtains properly because half the curtains come off the curtain rail, and I can't hook it back on. So yeah, apologies for that beam of light behind me. It looks like I'm sort of lit up with some Halo shit, but it's because the curtains have come off the rail. So yeah, that's the reason for that. Anyway, right. Let's dive into proceedings, people. Let's get this show on the road, and let's start with that man Victor Osimhen, because that's what everyone wants to know about. That's what everyone's talking about. That's what we're trying to reach an agreement for. And the Evening Standard reporting that Napoli are working to strike a swap deal with Chelsea for Victor Osimhen and Romelu Lukaku. It would make sense to work on that. Look, I know I'm not going to profess to be some sort of expert here, but what I would say is, is that this is short. I know negotiations aren't easy. I know transfers are difficult. I know they're complex. But in a situation like this, right, where you've got Lukaku, who desperately wants to go to Napoli, you've got Osimhen, who wants out, it can't be that hard to come up with some sort of deal. It can't be. It surely can't be. Like what I get it, they don't want a loan, but a loan with an obligation, what's the price going to be? It's basically the valuation and the wages are obviously the sticking point here. And look, what I would say is, right, we'd all love a quick conclusion to this. We'd all love it to be quickly resolved. But the reality is, maybe it's a good thing that they take their time with it in order to get the best deal possible, surely. No, because we'd soon be quick enough to moan and say, oh, why did we negotiate that so quickly? Why did we fucking do that as a deal or whatever? But if we actually take our time with it, then maybe we can get a better deal. And look, people might think Napoli are bending us over a barrel, but actually, I think we're in just as good a position as they are on this front, because we've got something they want as well. So eventually, they will give in. But I'm not sure if it's really Napoli that are causing issues. I think it's more the fact that Osimhen doesn't want a loan and Chelsea want the deal on their terms, which is understandable, which is absolutely understandable. But yeah, let me just get to a few things in the chat. Super chat from Brian. Yes, big up, brother. Appreciate the donation. Bring me Osimhen sharpish. Yeah, bro, I hear you on that. I'm looking for that as well. That's what I'm hoping for. At this point in time, I wasn't really that open to it at the start of the market, but it's making sense. It is making sense now. The quicker we can get to it, the better it's going to be. Look, it's a boring saga. We'd all love this to be resolved. It is a boring saga. It's not interesting. It's days and days of talks. But it feels like we will get the conclusion that we're looking for. Well, anyway, that's it. That's what it feels like to me. Feels like we'll get the conclusion we're looking for, and we will eventually get there, and all this will be worth it. I'll be raging if we go through all of this, right, and we end up not signing Osimhen, because then the whole thing would be a complete and utter waste of time. Complete and utter waste of time. It wasn't crazy for us when we were going to buy Samu for 40. Thank the Lord we never did. Yeah, I agree. Like, Osimhen was never really my first choice, but I would rather have him than Omarodion. That's for sure. So in a way, I know that Omarodion deal collapsing is giving us a massive headache with the Gallagher situation, but I'm almost like, no disrespect to Omarodion, but I'm almost glad that deal did collapse. Because it means now we can focus on Osimhen, and it means we're not going to waste £40 million on a caliber of striker that we don't actually need. Yeah, except it's a little bit different though. I don't think it's quite the same as that, but also it feels like Chelsea are in the driving seat for Osimhen, right? But on the flip side, people, I wouldn't even rule out someone else coming in last minute. You know, I think there are teams that are looking. I wouldn't be surprised, as I said yesterday, Arsenal. We know PSG are still in the mix. I wouldn't be surprised to see teams, and maybe a couple of surprise teams, enter proceedings late on, and could potentially cause us issues. Don't get me wrong, we're a massive football club. We've got great history of African players, but let's make no mistake about it. This current guise of Chelsea, if we were able to sign someone of Osimhen's quality, it would be outrageous. It would be absolutely outrageous if we were to do it. I'm going to get onto Felix later. Despite the age, Samu was far worse than Lukaku. Those unbiased player comments were horrendous. Fair enough. This is my point. You know, we've got the leverage here. We've got something that no one else has, which puts us in a strong position. You know, anyone else is likely having to pay the release clause or a very high transfer fee, 85, 90 million pounds potentially. Whereas for us, we can lower that fee by offering a player that Napoli wants. So that puts us in a really strong position compared to other teams. But at the same time, what weakens our position is that we seemingly aren't prepared to pay the wages, where I feel like PSG definitely will. And if an Arsenal were to come in, for example, I feel like an Arsenal would probably be prepared to pay that sort of money. Conte will be the biggest headache if they don't get Lukaku. He'll be fuming. No, I can't imagine Osimhen is desperate to come and play in a Conference League. No, I wouldn't have thought so. But at the same time, people, like, it's not about this. It wouldn't be about this coming season. It's about the seasons to come. And it would always be quite poetic if, you know, having idolized Drogba, that if Osimhen could come and actually be the guy that fires us back into the Champions League. Osimhen is the attacking piece of the puzzle. We truly need to win those games where we have 80% of the ball, 30 shots on no goals. I agree. And a player of his caliber, a player of his quality, like, that's the difference when you're facing teams that are playing a low block. I don't want to see us have like 20, 30 shots and not score a single fucking goal. I'm not about that. I don't want to see that anymore. And that's what you need to do. Sometimes you've got to pay the big money. So in the big moments when you're struggling in games, that's what those kind of players are there for. Do you know what I mean? That's exactly what those kind of players are there for. Napoli really need this deal to go through, because they don't sign Lukaku, then they won't have a striker. Well, yeah, look, for what it's worth, this will go through, in my opinion. Lukaku will definitely join Napoli. I'm just not sure if Osimhen will join Chelsea. That's the situation. And I do also agree with this. I think Osimhen would be happy to come to Chelsea, but I think his preferred choice is certainly PSG. If Osimhen comes, would you loan Guiu out? Yeah, I probably would, because I don't think you need Jackson, Osimhen, and Guiu plus Nkunku, who can play as a 9. I think you need 2 strikers, and then Nkunku can be that third choice if needed. So yeah, I think if Osimhen comes, I think that puts Guiu on loan for sure. I'd go laugh into the bank if we get 20 mil for Lukaku. Osimhen's wages are a stalling point for me more than Lukaku's valuation. Yeah, for sure. Transfer window closes 1st of September. If we get Felix and Victor, let's be honest, our expectation should be winning a trophy so long as we tighten up our defence. Yep, for sure. The expectation, even if we don't get Osimhen and Osimhen or Felix or whatever, like we should be winning we should be winning the Conference League anyway, regardless of those two signings. Lukaku, yeah, I agree with Vic on this one. I don't envisage a situation where Romelu Lukaku does not join Napoli this window. I think that's certainly going to happen. But what I don't know is where Victor Osimhen's going to be playing his football. By the way, people, 365 in the building. Big up to everyone that is locked in. Really appreciate everyone that is tuning in. Guys, if you've not smashed the like, please smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed as well, make sure you subscribe to the channel. There's 365 in the building. There's definitely a few people that haven't subscribed, guys. So make sure you are hitting that subscribe button if you are new around here. Get involved in the chat, guys. Let me know when you've subscribed. Let me know if you're new. Introduce yourself to the community, guys. Smash that like button. Smash that subscribe button. Let's get on the road to 11.2k now. We're not that far away. We're 70 subscribers away from 11.2k. Let's get as many of those done, guys. Smash that like, smash that subscribe button. Let me know in the chat when if you're a new subscriber. Why aren't we looking at any new defenders? I don't know is the answer to that, because I think the priority right now is outgoings, and the priority is also on dealing with this Gallagher, Felix, Osimhen situation. So this little trio of deals is the main priority right now. I'd be very surprised if we signed another defender. But this is Chelsea on a transfer window. You never know. Sky reported today that both clubs held positive conversations on the deal. Yeah. I think that was on the Lukaku deal, or was that on the swap deal? Anyway, I was going to read this article. What's it saying? Napoli are working to strike a swap deal with Chelsea for Victor Osimhen and Romelu Lukaku. The Serie A club want to sell Osimhen to Chelsea as part of a deal that would see Lukaku head in the other direction. Chelsea want 30 million for Lukaku, but Napoli have been trying to negotiate a lower fee. Osimhen has long since been a top striker target for Chelsea, but the Blues have been put off by his high price tag. Napoli Chiefs are now looking again at ways to broker a permanent sell of Osimhen to Chelsea after a potential move to PSG failed to materialise. Interesting. Chelsea have been looking at the potential for a season-long loan with options to buy Osimhen earlier in the window, but that prospect now appears remote. Osimhen wants the stability of a permanent move and the ability to focus and commit fully to a new long-term cause. Certainly going to be a long-term cause at Chelsea, brother. The former Lille striker is understood to remain open to a Chelsea switch and continues to be urged to make the Stamford Bridge move by Drogba and John Obi Mikel. Yeah, there we go. I think also, by the way, I'm pretty certain that Osimhen's done an interview today, or an interview recently, and it's come out today. Let me just see if I can pull that up, because I think he's. I'm pretty sure this has definitely happened today. Let me just find it. Let me just quickly find this. Yeah, here we go. It wasn't that one. There was definitely. What I was going to mention, guys, by the way, and this is peak Chelsea transfer window vibes. Wouldn't have had this one on my bingo card at all. I don't know if anyone's seen this. It is quite funny, to be fair, and you wouldn't have seen this coming from a million miles off. Famous Nigerian prophet warns Osimhen against joining Chelsea as a move to Stamford Bridge will kill his career, despite Premier League giants being close to securing a swap deal. So, famous Nigerian prophet and leader of the Evangelical Spiritual Church, can't pronounce his name, Primit Elijah Ayodele. Apologies if there's any Nigerians in the house, and I've absolutely butchered that. Has advised Victor Osimhen against joining Chelsea this summer. Has issued a warning to Osimhen, stating a move to the Premier League giants will kill his career because he will not shine. And he went on to say the Nigerian Football Federation should avoid calling him again if he completes a move to Stamford Bridge. You couldn't make this shit up, could you? In a recent video, he could be heard saying, I want to quickly advise, as directed, that Osimhen should not go to Chelsea because if he goes there, he'll not shine and it will kill his career. the Nigerian Football Federation, if Osimhen should go to Chelsea, don't call him again. And also calling him to the Super Eagles still needs to be reviewed properly, because we have what it takes to win the World Cup and Nations Cup. Yeah, mad. You've got Nigerian profits in the building. Yeah, it's mad. Yeah, this brother must be an Arsenal fan. This brother must be an Arsenal fan. That's the only thing that I can think of. This brother must be an Arsenal fan. I mean, look, he could be right. He could be right. You know, many a career has died at Chelsea. Many a career has also thrived. But yeah, I hear you, people. I hear you. You know, like, he might not be wrong, but it's a classic Chelsea. It's a classic Chelsea thing, isn't it? Absolutely classic. You know, it wouldn't be a Chelsea transfer window without a leader of the church telling a player not to join the football club. Crazy. We can win the James, come on. We can win the Conference League without Osimhen and Felix. The squad we've got right now is more than good enough to win the Conference League. If anyone thinks we cannot win the Conference League without Osimhen and Felix, then we're more fucked than we thought. You know, yeah, it could be the juju curse being put on us. Yeah, I mean, you never know. The curse could be real. We could be struck with some sort of curse by this if he ends up joining. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say about that. Crazy, isn't it? Absolutely crazy on that front. Kind of a mad one. But is what it is at this point, isn't it? We'll just wait and see what happens on the Osimhen front. But yeah, kind of classic. That there's been a yeah, you know, get a leader of the church coming out telling my man not to come and join the football club. Fair. But yeah, guys, that's basically the latest. We've got Mikel leading the charm offensive. There we go. Yep, we will be there. I will be there. Chelsea versus, I don't know, Servette or Braga. We will be there. First ever Conference League game. What a night that's going to be. What a night that is going to be. Yeah, bro, we're massive. That's what happens when you're massive. That is what happens when you're massive, people. That is exactly what happens. But Isak is not on the market. But Osimhen and Tony probably are the two best options on the market for Chelsea. If Osimhen's spiritual, that's the end of it. He won't come. Next will be the Pope telling Felix not to join us, brother. I would love for the Pope to say that. I'd love for the Pope to get involved and say, don't do that. Don't join Chelsea. I'll be more than up for that. Yeah, there's also that point. There is also that point, but you know, I'd be shocked if I'd be absolutely shocked if that were to be the case. But anyway, that is the latest on Victor Osimhen, guys. That is the latest on Osimhen. Bro, I hear you, and I wasn't that open to it at the start, but having seen pre-season, having seen the other options that are out there, we desperately need a striker. This is as good as it's gonna get for us. I don't see us getting a better striker. We're not. Categorically, we are not getting a better striker than Victor Osimhen this summer if we get him. This is the best striker on the market available, and this is the best striker that Chelsea will be able to get. We're not going to get a better striker, guys. We're simply not. We're simply not going to get a better striker. You know, he's the best available. And yeah, you know, it might not be what everyone wants. It might not be ideal terms, but he is absolutely the best striker that we can get right now. Again, don't rule that out. Don't rule it out. I wouldn't be surprised if teams went and explored the Tony situation towards the end of the window. That wouldn't surprise me either. By the way, guys, 406 in the building, only 150 likes. Run it up on those likes, guys. Let's get this to. Oh, this should be over 200 likes, easy. Should be well over 200 likes. So please, let's keep it moving, people. Let's keep it moving, guys. Yeah. No, I don't think so. No, I would suggest absolutely not. Yeah, I would say so. I mean, the out and out forward is few and far between these days. But yeah, I agree. Nah, not now. Not right now. Maybe in a few years, sure. But I mean, he needs to rediscover his form because last season he dropped off. I know he was injured and stuff, but there was a drop off last season. So yeah, I like Evan Ferguson, but I'm not gonna be hyping him up until I see, him hitting some form again. Chelsea need to get these deals done ASAP so we can start offloading and focus on the squad that's going to be fully involved with the season. Don't need 60 plus players around giving Enzo a headache. Yeah, look, I hear that. The striker market's not great. No, it's not. Don't get why people are meat riding Felix. Sure, he had a good loan, but we should prioritize Osimhen. Yeah, for sure. No, I don't think so. It would be a real problem if we signed Felix and then no one else joined. That would be a real issue. I'm against a Felix signing, for obvious reasons, as everyone knows. But if it was Felix and Osimhen came as well, it would be slightly better. But under no circumstances, if Chelsea agreed to sign Joao Felix, under no circumstances can he be the only attacking signing that arrives. Under no circumstances, absolutely none, because we still need a striker, and Joao Felix is not a striker. So yeah, that's what I'm saying, people. Like that can't be the case. Absolutely cannot be the case. I actually don't know. I mean, I don't keep an eye necessarily on Brighton so much. But yeah, I mean, Gurhi's not coming to Chelsea. Yeah, I'd like to think, we're not that stupid. We're not idiots like that. I would like to think that, yeah, we aren't idiots. But then again, guys, maybe we are. Maybe we are. But yeah, that's the latest on Victor Osimhen, people. Well, I don't know. I do as well. Like, it's not a good situation to be in at all. It's really not a good situation to be in. So yeah, I mean, we do. And if Chelsea genuinely wanted Gurhi, then you could get him we get 20% off, basically. So, it's like a little discount card, isn't it? If we wanted him. But I think it's quite obvious that Chelsea don't want Gurhi. If he wanted him, I think we would have shown interest. I mean, we would have maybe gone in for him. But I don't see us. I don't see us signing Gurhi. No, I swear Spurs signed Archie Gray. No, Archie Gray was 40 million. I'd given up on the idea that we weren't idiots years ago. Fair enough. No idea. I look, never say never with Chelsea, because anything could just appear out of anywhere at any moment. But I don't expect any news on this today. I think today's a quiet day. We might look. We could get something tomorrow. We could get something tomorrow, legitimately. We could get something tomorrow. I don't think we get anything today. I think it's more likely to be next week. Because it's not as simple as that. It's not as simple as that. I think people think that swap deals are the norm, and they're straightforward, and they're easy to do and whatnot. That very much isn't the case. And I don't think Chalobah really wants to go to there. Yeah, I think, look, no one's really made a promising case to be starting centre backs. But look, I think from what we've seen, I've said it before on the show, like Fofana and Colwell is probably Chelsea's best pairing. Given Tosin's just arrived at the club, given Disasi's injured and not that great, given Badia Shield's form has fallen off a cliff. Yeah, I would agree with that. Yep, there's a. I think so as well. I would agree on that front. Obi just retweeted his video about Osimhen. Someone asked him if Osimhen is coming to the bridge. Fair enough. I mean, look, I think we'd have to give Mikel a big slice of the deal if Osimhen ends up coming to Stamford Bridge. Big problem last season was a clinical finisher. It bothers me how these bosses are slow on the case. Yeah, I hear you. No, I haven't got any worries about Colwell. Yeah, there's been a few mistakes. He's still only 21, guys. I think that's what a lot of people forget. He's still only 21. So there's a lot of room for improvement. There's a lot of room for development. So yeah, I'm not too concerned, but he needs a strong season for sure. What's happening with Gallagher? Nothing right now. Everything's agreed with Atletico Madrid. It's basically down to whether Chelsea can agree a fee for Joao Felix. Otherwise, I'm not sure this deal is going to happen. Yeah, basically, that's it. Fofana needs to be way less erratic. Yeah, but he's still young as well. I think that can come out of his game. Anyway, yeah. We've just been talking about that. There have been some positive talks. It would seem the logical thing to do. It would seem, that sort of a conclusion and the right conclusion will eventually be reached. I think it's just going to take a little bit of time to get there. But let's move on to other matters then, guys. And there's no update on Joao Felix, by the way. Nothing at this point in time. Nothing's changed from yesterday. Now, this was an interesting one because The Athletic reported today, and then they followed up saying that Chelsea would consider offers in excess of the £28.5 million for Noni Madueke, in excess of the £28.5 million they paid for Noni Madueke. Ex-manager Graham Potter was one of the biggest advocates of that deal when he signed from PSV. And then they followed that up with that Chelsea believe Noni Madueke is worth around £60 million. I would say his value has probably doubled. I think that's fair. My big issue, right, and what I'm concerned about is that I know they want to sell Sterling, but if Felix does come, I wonder if teams might start sniffing around Noni and maybe try with a £50 million bid or something like that. We know there's potential rumoured interest from Newcastle. I know they need to move on Miguel Almiron in order to go for it, but I think Chelsea's selling Madueke if they were to. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but if they were to do that, I think they would be making a big mistake. I really do. I think he's a really good fit for the Maresca system, and I don't know why you'd want to cash in on someone who has got a lot of ability, and especially for measly profit as well. Unless we're going to get around that 45-50 million pounds, which probably that would therefore mean that Palmer is going to play more on the right hand side, mostly on the right hand side. We should be keeping him. I think he fits Maresca's system perfectly. He was the most promising winger in the pre-season, and his value will only increase next summer as well. So I really don't understand why Chelsea would even think about entertaining selling Noni Madueke. I know some people aren't a fan of his. I know that we I know that he needs to improve his own product like a lot of these players do. But there's ability there. He finished the season well. He works hard. He looks in a good place physically and mentally. He fits the system well. And there's no reason why he can't have a big impact this season because, can you imagine at Newcastle, you have Gordon one side, Madueke the other side, with Isak down the middle. I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, how good's that? Big up to Top Dog RLG for the super chat. No briefings coming out of the club that Maresca is on board with the Felix signing, so it's safe to assume he isn't keen. Yeah, I would agree. I don't think... I'll be honest, I don't actually really think anyone at the club is that keen. I just think they're so desperate to offload Gallagher that they would be prepared to sign a player that they don't really want. That's my honest opinion. That's where I actually think we are right now in terms of that. You know, I think that's clear. I think the only reason that we are even thinking about Felix is so we can sell Gallagher. You know, if Chelsea, if this Gallagher issue, if Gallagher had gone to Atletico Madrid and it was all done and dusted, no one's going. We're not going in for Felix if Gallagher's already been sold. We're simply not going in for him, guys. So it feels like we are being forced a little bit. Liked the link up between Madueke and Palmer last season. Yep, chuck Neto in there, chucking Nkunku in there. Let's get Jackson involved a bit more as well. Then yeah, there's some really promising signs. Some really promising signs at the football club, guys, for next season. What's not promising though, guys, is that we still haven't hit 200 likes. We're 400 in the building, just shy. 184 likes, guys. Smash that like button. It's free. It takes seconds to do. And we're 15 away from 200 likes. We should be on 200 likes in the next minute. 15 of you out of 400 should be pressing that like button right now. And we should be on 200 likes. Guys, it really helps boost the content in the algorithm. The more liked a piece of content is, the more it gets boosted by YouTube. So, guys, run that like up. Let's get this to 200 likes. And people, help me grow the channel as well. Let's try and get to 12,000. We're on the road to 12,000. Closing in on 11.2k. So, guys, keep subscribing. Hit that subscribe button. Let's do it. We are 18 away from 11,150. I think that's realistic. I think that is very doable. Number 18, like Christopher and Nkunku. Guys, let's get there. Let's get to 11,150. Please smash the subscribe button. Let's do it. Broja to Ipswich. Any truth in that? Yes, I think reports are true that Ipswich are interested. He's believed to be reluctant to the move, though. We're significantly stronger in terms of depth and quality. I do think we can get top four. Bro, I agree. Absolutely agree. Like, the top four's there for the taking. I've said this so many times. The top four is there for the taking. It is absolutely there for the taking. So, like, we just need to show some level of consistency. Tell me about Felix and any Sterling offer, but don't sell Noni, guys. Yeah, nothing about Felix at the moment. Nothing on Sterling. Chelsea would consider offers for Noni, but I don't see any big offers coming in for him. They hope he have a half decent season and sell him next summer. Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. And that's always a worry for me as well, because it sort of feels like anyone that has a good season, you almost feel like they could be out the door in the summer because their value's risen, and you know that's a problem for me. Is that if anyone that does well next season, you know, you shouldn't be worrying about whether they're still going to be at the football club. But the fact is that we will worry, because there's several instances that would suggest that we're happy to cash in on players even if they've done well for us. The idea that we need to buy a player we don't need in order to sell a player of Gallagher's caliber is insane. Yeah, bro, I absolutely hear you. You know, and only we could get ourselves in. Only we could get ourselves into a situation where we're so desperate for a pure profit sale of £33 million, which, in the grand scheme of things, is not an awful lot of money. But we then consider spending £40 million on someone we don't really want in order for the deal to go through. I mean, like, it could only be Chelsea. Literally, under no circumstances does that make sense. Does that make any sense whatsoever? Selling players is not easy, especially with the long contract these players got. We struggled to sell Lukaku after 2 seasons. Pires looks more ready to play than Esteban at the moment. Yeah, Pires is definitely further along in his development, for sure. Yes, big up to Shano. Smash the likes, only just channel that isn't too far left or too far right. Yeah, I'll just try and say it how it is, try and keep it real, just give my opinions. No agendas, even if people think I've got a Felix agenda, I absolutely don't. I just don't want him at the football club, because it just doesn't make any sense. So yeah, that's why. Palmer is worth 100 million, yeah, and the rest. Do you feel optimistic about us proving everyone who we're going to fail wrong? I mean, look, it depends what you say about proving people wrong. We can absolutely get into the top four. Yeah, for sure. The top four is doable. I don't know why so many people are writing Chelsea off from finishing top four. You know, top four. I'm not saying top four is easy, but we've got to fancy our chances. We've got such a good chance. Such a good chance. So I don't see that as an issue. I don't. Well, look. Whatever people think of Gallagher, he's a Premier League proven player and he's an England international. I mean, that's a pretty good caliber of player. But yeah, I get what you're saying. I don't know. I was chatting with Pice on the show on I think Tuesday it was. And we were saying that, like, when you're signing that length of a deal, that there must be, you're not going to sign an 8-9 year contract and there's no opt-out clauses or there's no stipulations where you can possibly leave. There simply has to be. We know that Chukwuemeka had a secret release clause in his contract that was revealed earlier this summer. I expect that's the same for a number of players. And whether it's a release clause or not, or whether it's stipulations that he can leave in certain circumstances, I would be shocked if that wasn't the case, because no one is signing a 9-year contract, right, with no possibilities of getting out of it. No one's doing that. No one's doing that. So I'm not necessarily saying that maybe that Palmer's contract's got a release clause in there, but I would expect there are stipulations in there that if certain circumstances occur, then he can potentially leave the football club. I think that's perfectly normal when you're signing that length of a contract. I really do. Get Osimhen and Felix. We must get 3rd and 2 cups. Let's rein it in a little bit. 3rd and 2 cups. I think we're a little bit of a way from that. Gallagher has no caliber, guys. He's sat on the bench by an 18-year-old Mainu for England. Offload and cash in. Fair enough. Anything between us and the top four is the defence. Yeah, I agree. It is the defence. That's what I worry about the most. I'm a little bit, concerned about how Maresca is going to handle things, but going forward, I haven't got any worries about us other than maybe a lack of clinical finishing in the final third. Midfield looks well balanced. I don't have too many issues with that. The fullbacks I'm happy with. It's that central defensive pairing that's going to be the big thing. That is going to be the big thing this season. I don't think we're going to let Madueke go. I'll be very surprised. Our defence is garbage. So much deadwood and injury-prone players in the back line needs major reinforcement to compete at the top end. I think Chalobah should be. I wouldn't say it's crap. I think the players are talented. It's just that as a unit, the centre-back pairing, I haven't really got on top of that yet. Any update on Broja and Ugochukwu to Fulham possible loan? Ugochukwu definitely available for loan, I think. Broja, Ipswich interested. He's reportedly not open to that. There's other options. Chelsea would rather sell than loan. And that's kind of where we're at with Broja. Guys, there's so much coming in. Keeper is a massive worry for me. Yeah, I would agree. The centre-back pairing and the goalkeeper is a major concern. Major concern heading into the new season. It is a big concern. No, there's no denying it. Absolutely no denying it. It is a huge concern, guys. But we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens. Sunday will tell us a lot. Whether you rate Gallagher or not, he was our 3rd best player last season and is an England international. Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree on that. We saw while Mata in his prime, selling on the Madueke is not a problem. No, I'm not saying we wouldn't recover from it, but it would be a mistake in my view to sell him this summer. No one's suggesting that we won't be able to recover from it. I just think it would be a mistake. Conference League and FA or Carabao, we must win. Yeah, we must win the Conference League. Yeah, maybe we're going to be involved in a lot of high-scoring games. Maybe we're just going to have to score 3 or 4 goals every week in order to win a game of football. Maybe that's going to be the case. But we shall see, guys. But yeah, I'd be surprised if I wouldn't be surprised. Look, maybe an offer will come in. I don't know. Newcastle would be one that I'd have in the back of my mind potentially, because we know that we know there's been a lot of reports suggesting they're interested, but they need to offload Miguel Almiron, which is proving difficult, and they're looking to sign Mark Guehi as well for a lot of money. Madueke would cost a lot of money. I don't know if that's going to be how likely it is, and I don't get the feeling that Madueke actually would even want to leave Chelsea in the first place anyway. You know, I don't get that at all. I don't get that feeling at all. But as I said, you just don't know of this team, guys. You just don't know, and that is part of the issue. You really have no idea what we're going to do. You don't know what to expect. But yeah, I mean, this is where we stand. But I'd be shocked if we sold him. If we sold Madueke, I really would. Yeah, I mean, look, Chelsea need to resolve the Chalobah situation as well. The Gallagher thing is obviously the most pressing issue, but we do also need to solve the Gallagher situation, because that's farcical right now. Absolutely farcical what's going on. I'm not saying it's all Chelsea's fault, but it is farcical. If Atletico wanted to do the deal, all they need to do is sign the final documents. Like, they can't not afford him. They just, like, I wonder if Atletico are trying to pull a fast one on us and fuck us over by, we agreed to sign Felix, and then they just suddenly decide to pull the plug on the Gallagher deal. I wonder if Atletico are trying to pull a little sneaky fast one and fuck us over. It's a possibility, guys. It's a possibility that I want to say can't be ruled. I'd love to rule that possibility out, but yeah. I wonder if they're trying to pull a fast one. I don't think so, but anything would surprise me. Nothing would surprise me. Yeah, Villa want Chalobah. I think, look, to be honest, Chalobah to Villa would be a really good move. A really good move for them. I don't know if I think Chelsea would rather sell abroad, if I'm being perfectly honest. I don't think they'd want to sell someone and see them do well at another Premier League team. I don't know how they would necessarily feel about that. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of the Madueke situation right now. In terms of Raheem Sterling, again, that same article in The Athletic, Chelsea very open to selling Sterling. I think this is something we've known for a long time. We've known this for a long time. Chelsea very keen to sell Raheem Sterling, and that's great. And that should be I say celebrated. We should be pleased to hear that, because he's 29, he's on ridiculous wages, and he's not really going to improve as a footballer. He's not going to get any better. So I would look at this and I would say that, you know, yes, we should be happy, but at the same time, he's not going anywhere this summer. No one's going to come in, with an acceptable transfer offer. I mean, what would we accept for him? 30, 40 million quid? I don't know. And no one is paying those wages. Plus, I get the feeling he doesn't really want to leave the football club. So, like, as much as this news should be good news, he's not going anywhere. For me, the earliest Raheem Sterling goes anywhere is next summer, because there'll be 2 years left on the contract and he won't be offered a new deal. That is the only way that we're going to get that Raheem Sterling's going to leave, is the earliest will be next summer. And like, yeah, because that'll be 2 years left. So there we go. There we go. I don't know what he's going to do this season. He's looked okay in the preseason, but it's the same things that you'd expect young players to sort of be struggling with. That Sterling, an experienced pro, is still struggling with. Just constantly runs into players. Why is this guy always running into someone? I don't get that. I can't get my head around it. But I mean, I can't see anyone. Literally, maybe. Obviously, we know Saudi would do it. He's doesn't strike me as a sort of player that would want to go to Saudi Arabia. I don't think anyone else in the Premier League is taking a punt on him. So where does he actually go? Yeah, he could well play better, but I'm not envisioning a situation where Sterling's suddenly going to be tearing it up next season and become the player that we think he's going to become. I just don't see it. I really don't. Yeah, that summer 2022 window was a disaster. I mean, to be fair, Kukureya's turned himself round, but Koulibaly's been and gone. Aubameyang's been and gone. The Zakaria loan was shambolic. Who else did we sign that summer? Fofana, I've still got hope there. But yeah, generally speaking, that summer 2022, first window under Bowley interim sporting director. Yeah, there was some shocking business and some ridiculous contracts handed out that absolutely should not have been handed out. That's kind of where we're at. Yeah, Sterling needs to step up and deliver. Pure and simple. Raheem Sterling must deliver for Chelsea this season. No doubt about it. This is his last chance. I think he's gone next summer anyway, regardless. But yeah, this for me, this is his last opportunity at Chelsea, and I think, I'll be honest, regardless of what happens, particularly with Paez and Esteval coming next summer, this is his last season. This is his last season at Chelsea, in my view. I just can't see how he's here next summer. I really can't. But anyway, Chelsea will be looking to offload Raheem Sterling. I should be happy about it, guys, but I'm not, because I know it's not happening. So that's kind of where we're at. I don't know if I don't know if we could. I don't know what's going to go on. Tuchel wanted him. Yeah, Tuchel did want him. Yeah, I mean he's probably slightly fucked us over there, Tuchel, in the nicest way possible. He did kind of shaft us. We haven't paid 80 million. Mudryk was 62.5 million. And then, provided if we win Premier League, Champions League, and all that sort of thing, it could go up to 88 million pounds. So it could go up to 88 million pounds, but that depends on us winning Champions League, Premier Leagues, and whatnot. So actually, it's still a lot of money, but Mudryk wasn't 80 million. He was 62.5, and it could become 88. Same with Chilwell. He's not going in a hurry. I think there could be movement on Chilwell towards the end of the window. I'll be real, because he's behind Renato Vega now, and we're suddenly in a situation. He's going to be in a situation where he knows he's not going to be playing. He's not going to be playing very much, and he also knows there's a real chance that he actually won't even make any matchday squads. That's how mad is that? There's a genuine chance that Chilwell, if he ends up staying, won't make many matchday squads. I think he's genuinely considering his options. I've got no idea what sort of a fee Chelsea would take. Interesting. I don't know how reliable this source is, guys. Let's bring this up anyway. I don't know how reliable this is, but we're going to have a look at it. Apparently, Atletico Madrid have rejected a £38.4 million offer from Chelsea for Joao Felix. They want 51.2 million. Atletico are very upset by how Chelsea handled the Samu Omarodion situation. Again, don't know the validity of the source, but that's a big gap in valuation still. That's almost 48. That's like 13 million pounds, guys, difference in valuation. That's a big difference in valuation. A really big. Nah, maybe a Neto 7. Neto 7 next season, guys. That's what we're going to get. Pedro Neto in that number 7 shirt. Pedro Neto in that 7 shirt. 50 million is way too much. Way too much. We should not be paying anywhere near that amount of money for Joao Felix. Again, let me see if I can find how reliable this source is. Who is this geezer? What does he do? Some sort of Twitch streamer, is he? Can't really see. What's this? Objectivo Atletico. Oh, that guy said it on Twitch. Apparently, he's got a little gold medal next to him to suggest that he's good. I'm not sure, bro. Absolutely not in my opinion. Not a pay and don't speak. No, not for me. 50 million quid. It's just too much for him. It's too much. It's too much. Like simple as that. It is way too much money. Way too much money. That's the honest truth on a situation, guys. We shouldn't be paying that much money, particularly for a player that we don't actually want, really. Particularly for a player we don't really want. We're only signing him because we're desperate to sell Conor Gallagher. So yeah, forgive me for not being sort of excited or fully on board with it, because it doesn't make any sense. Guys, we're 10 subscribers away now from 11,150. Keep smashing that subscribe button, people. Down below there, hit the subscribe button, join a community, become part of the channel. It'll be greatly appreciated. Let's get these next 10 subscribers done and dusted, guys. Let's get the next 10 subscribers sorted out. If you're new around here, if you're watching, if you're lurking and you haven't hit that subscribe button and get involved in the chat and keep running the likes up as well, guys. We're on 232. Let's get to 250 likes. We could even hit 300 likes. So keep smashing that like button. Keep subscribing to the channel as well. But yeah, that's one report coming out of Spain. Yeah, they do. But I don't think Chelsea would cave in and pay that money. I really don't. But what it does go to show is that maybe, yes, big up to Jerry Marvelous. Big up, brother. Appreciate you subscribing to the channel, bro. Appreciate it. Appreciate. That bridge with Atletico is burned down properly after this window. Yeah, for sure. Like once this window's closed, these men are not going to want to have anything to. They're not going to want to have anything to do with us whatsoever. These men will be fuming with us. I understand why Chelsea isn't trying to transfer Gallagher and Lukaku to Napoli and paying that Osimhen fee. Gallagher won't want to go to Napoli. Napoli just wants to cheat Chelsea. This is why Chelsea's reluctant in signing him. I don't think so. We also got Deadwood to sell, like Broja, Kepa, Connor, Trev, Washington, Lukaku. More than 13, David, Datro, Fofana. Yes, come on, Chelsea. Big up to Game Birds. Yeah, I'm confused by the whole situation, but apparently an offer of that amount's gone in. But again, it's not. I haven't seen it confirmed by any. I haven't seen it confirmed anywhere else or reported anywhere else by anyone maybe more reliable. Again, I don't want to discredit this information, but let's take it with a little bit of let's take it with a little bit of a pinch of salt. If we're being totally honest, let's take it with a small pinch of salt, really. But I don't know. We could find ourselves in a situation where this is true, but I would err on the side of caution. I would err on the side of caution on it because I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it being reported anywhere else. I'm not seeing it anywhere else, but you never know. You never know. We could have, that bid could have gone in. Sure. I mean, it's not beyond the realms of possibility. Not beyond the realms of possibility that is the case. But yeah, until we get a bit more news on it, guys, I'd take it a little. I would, be slightly cautious on this front, a little bit reserved on it. Yeah, me too. I'm delighted with it. Absolutely delighted with that Neto signing. The big thing is, though, guys, we've just got to keep him fit. We just have to keep him fit. Can we do that? I don't know. But yeah. Sell Mudryk and Sterling. Get the deal for Felix immediately. Bro, like, I don't know, sometimes people don't think about things, but like, that's just never going to happen. That's just never going to happen. It's just totally unrealistic. Only pay what we get for Gallagher on Felix. Look, I think if we could do a deal where 34.5 million pounds, which is what we were going to pay for Omorodion, if we can do that for Felix, then I think that would be a fair deal. I think that'd be a fair deal. The only way I see it, Atletico is more in need to get rid of Felix than Chelsea for Gallagher. I don't know. I think Chelsea are pretty desperate to get rid of Gallagher, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that Atletico are obviously, very, very keen to offload Joao Felix. Very, very keen. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But that there's a potential there that could something to something that could potentially be gathering some speed. That's something to keep an eye on, guys. I'm going to do the match preview tomorrow, people. So I'll go through my starting 11 then. I'm going to do it tomorrow. Gallagher let us down by turning down Villa. He didn't let us down. He was within his rights to turn a move down. No player has to accept a move anywhere. So he's not let us down. Yeah, sure, it would have been maybe more beneficial if he'd accepted that deal, but he didn't want to go there. So there we go. Neto, big transfer for the club. Yeah, massive. Yeah, absolutely. I would agree. I think Felix going for 113 mil is haunting him. If you separate the money, he's a very good addition, especially with the possibility of injuries. I just don't agree. We're signing him as a favour, basically, and he's not going to be a starter. He doesn't start. He's not better than Nkunku. He's not better than Palmer. He's not better than Neto. He's not a starter. Simple as that. Yes, big up to Bushnell. Royal Blues of West London is now a YouTube member. Big up, guys. If you want to become a channel member, by the way, hit the link in the description. You can support myself and the channel for $1.99 per month. The more members we get, then the more member-only content that there will be. But we need to build up that membership base first. So, guys, hit that membership button. Link in the description. Become a member. Join the channel. Support myself. $1.99 a month. The more members we get, they'll start being member-only shows and all that sort of thing. So make sure that you become a member, guys. No, nothing. No update. Bringing in Felix creates more issues than us having too many attacking midfielders/wingers. Yeah, exactly. And then people forgetting as well, Esteban and Paez to come. Yeah, okay, Sterling might go next summer, but still, we don't need him. If Chelsea wanted Felix, if Maresca wanted Felix, he's been there all summer. So, and it's quite telling to me that we've not gone for him. Very telling for me that we've not gone for him all summer. Yeah, he is. As a winger, he's way better. Way better as a winger. Felix is not a winger. Like, this is what people are getting so confused about. Felix is not a winger in an Enzo Maresca system. He's like an inside forward. And he's not better than Cole Palmer, and he's not better than Pedro Neto as a winger. He simply isn't. If you're telling me who would I rather have playing on the wing under Enzo Maresca's in Enzo Maresca's Chelsea, Joao Felix is nowhere near the list of players to play wing, to play as an out-and-out winger. Neto is clear. 100% Maresca and Chelsea don't want Felix. They could wait to get rid after loan, but blamed it on Poch. That's Felix is an aesthetics merchant. I've said it so many times. Felix is an aesthetics merchant. He's pleasing on the eye. No end product. No physical presence to play through the middle. He's a highlights reel player. Oh, yeah, exactly as well. Like, I'm not saying that Felix is not talented, but like, people think he's way better than he is. And he's one of those players where people are prepared to overlook actual things that matter, i.e. end product, because he's pleasing on the eye and they like watching him. Like, it's mad. Bro, he could well be a Portuguese Havertz. He actually could be. He actually could be a Portuguese Havertz. And I don't think, although in honest, I don't think Felix will score 14 goals for Arsenal in the Premier League or 13 goals or whatever it was. I don't see that happening. I don't think that is going to be the case. So no, I think I don't see that one happening. Yeah, Felix is for those football romantics. Is also for people that perhaps don't want to sort of view the situation in reality. That is what Joao Felix is, guys. Bro, we're not gonna do that. Maresca plays two wingers, or at least one. If Palmer plays right, he might have a bit of license to drift in. There's going to be at least one winger. You're not going to see a situation where Felix, Palmer, and Nkunku with no wingers playing. He's got the ability. He needs to deliver. But yeah, let's wait and see, guys. Let's wait and see. But yeah, that supposed rejected bid has not been reported anywhere. Has not been reported anywhere else. So there we go. Not been reported anywhere else. Let's see if anyone else is sharing any news about anything interesting at all. Any updates from any journos on anything at all Chelsea related? I don't think there is. It's been a reasonably quiet day on that front. It almost feels like something's coming, and I don't know what it is, but it feels like at some point over the next few days something is coming in terms of a major breakthrough in this Osimhen, Felix, Gallagher sort of saga. It feels like a breakthrough's coming, guys. I don't know when that breakthrough is going to be, but I'm sensing something's coming soon. His value's dropped 70% since he just signed up. The fact that they want 51 mil is laughable. Yeah, it is. It's mad. It's mad. I hope Felix comes either way to be an excellent addition to Maresca's super team. Let's wait and see. Yep. Again, like if signing Felix means losing Noni, it just makes it even worse. Any news about loaning Gihu? No, not at the moment. I suspect though if Osimhen does come, then he would be loaned. I can't imagine him not being loaned if Osimhen arrives. So I think, yeah, I think he will. I think he will come. I think he absolutely will. But yeah, let's wait and see. Nothing till after the City game. I would agree on that. Thoughts on the Osimhen saga? Yeah, it's a bit tiresome. I do think though, despite everything, I do still have hope on Osimhen, and I do still think we can pull the deal off. But my concern would be if someone else comes in last minute. So yeah, that would be my concern. But I just feel like surely Osimhen to Chelsea can't not happen. It just feels like everything's in place to make this deal happen. It just feels like everything's there. I'm excited about Osimhen. I hope this can get over the line by next week. We've got to win the conference. We're going to tear that competition. Let's show how to win it. Yeah, I mean, we're probably going to be the best team that's ever been in the Conference League, to be perfectly honest, in terms of individual quality. I hope not. I hope not. I just don't see how it can. But yeah, I would agree. Again, people are not understanding this. As an out-and-out winger, Felix is not that. He's not an out-and-out winger. So I don't understand what people are finding so difficult to understand here. That in a Maresca system, playing as a traditional right winger, Madueke would be better than Felix in that role. That's all I'm saying. Like, we're not talking about whether they're who's a better footballer. I'm saying that he suits that role better. It's very simple, guys. Very, very simple. But yeah, anyway. Is there anything last minute? Guys, we're on 252 likes. Keep smashing that like button. Keep subscribing to the channel as well. Bro, Angelo's done. Angelo, I think, is in talks to go on loan to Besiktas, maybe. Angelo's not going to play for Chelsea. I'm going to say it now. Angelo doesn't have a Chelsea future. He'll be sold next summer. Could even be sold this summer. I wouldn't even rule that one out. Could be sold this summer. Exactly. We don't need him. We don't need Felix. There's a reason why we've not gone in for him all summer, because we don't fucking need him. So yeah, annoying, sure, very annoying. But you know what can we say? What can we say, people? Yeah, I mean, exactly, and even with Esteval and Paez coming as well, it makes even less sense. Even if you get rid of Sterling next summer, it's still not making sense to me. It's still not making sense. Bro, I don't think so. I'll be real. Like, it's going to be a second season out on loan. I'm not seeing it. I'll be honest. I'm not seeing it. The fact that Chelsea, you know, are overlooking him again, seemingly. For me, that doesn't really make sense. Doesn't really make sense that he does have a future. Look, I could be wrong, but I don't see Angelo being a regular Chelsea player. I really don't. Really don't in any way, shape, or form see him becoming a regular Chelsea player. So there we go. There we go. But yeah, guys, I think I'm going to round that one out here. Anyone got any last minute questions in the chat about anything? Fire a couple of questions in if you do. Yeah, fire some questions in if you've got any in the chat, and I'll round this one out in the next couple of minutes. If anyone's got anything they want to ask or want my thoughts on, then please do let me know. Yeah, I agree. I would be as well. I would be. I think it would be a real shame if that happens. I don't think it will, but I think it would be a real shame. Paez and Esteval coming next season. Yep, they are. I said wait for Kendry, Paez and Esteval Willian to come next summer. Yep. Thoughts on Moniz from Fulham? Had a good patch of scoring, but I don't really see that as a Chelsea issue. Biggest fear for the new season, that we don't start it well and that ends up costing us the Champions League. That'd be my biggest fear, is not starting the season well and having defensive issues. And I suppose biggest fear is having a repeat of the injury issues that we had last season and we have had for a number of seasons. So yeah, those would be my biggest fears: not starting well and having a repeat of the injury crisis. I don't agree on that. I don't agree on that at all. I really don't think that is the case. But yeah, people, I'm going to round this out here now, I think. Big up to everyone that has tuned in this evening, this afternoon. Greatly appreciate all the support. Guys, please make sure you smash that like button on the way out. Please hit the subscribe button on the way out as well. We're heading road to 12K, heading towards 11.2K, guys. So please keep hitting that subscribe button. It'd be greatly appreciated. I think we're around 50 subs away from 11.2. Let's hit that subscribe button. Let's get as close to there as we can. Run those likes up. Yeah, that would be a concern. But yeah, anyway, guys, love for the support as always. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I'm working this evening, so if there's any major news tonight, I won't be able to cover it. But I'll be back tomorrow, Man City preview, talking more transfer news, guys. So make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Catch you lot tomorrow afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your evening, guys. Love, as always, for all the support. It's greatly appreciated. Up the Chelsea and peace out, guys.